CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Comes to Edwards at the side of the net. Now they're crashing and they score. The Rangers have jammed it in overtime.
The Barrie Colts now find their backs against the wall after losing 2 overtime games this weekend. Thank you for joining us. After forcing the past 2 games into overtime with last-second heroics, the Barrie Colts have nothing to show for it. The team is now facing elimination after dropping the first 3 games of the OHL final. Let's get right to CTV's Luke Samardi joins us live tonight from outside of Sadlon Arena with more on those 2 heartbreaking losses. Luke.
Well, Sarah, the Barrie Colts are just 2 shots away from being up 2-1 in the series, but some bad puck luck on their side has resulted in them being down 3-0 in the OHL Championship Series against the Kitchener Rangers. It was deja vu for Colts fans over the weekend.
Shot, save, rebound, scores! Aitchison scores!
On Friday night, co-captain Keyshawn Aitchison tied the game late to force overtime against the Kitchener Rangers, but the Colts couldn't get the win. Then, 48 hours later.
Sit down, back out, Von Richter across, scores! Keyshawn Aitchison!
Aitchison once again tied the game late to force overtime, and again, it wasn't meant to be.
Broken up, comes to Edwards at the side of the net. Now they're crashing and they score!
All 23 guys in the room are battling so hard right now. They're sacrificing everything for the win, and like Swa said, we feel like we're right there.
On Sunday night, Dylan Edwards was the OT hero for Kitchener, one of his 4 points in the game.
Anytime you can score an OT winner in the Game 3 of the championship final to send your team up 3-0, it's an unbelievable feeling just to see everyone and the hard work that gets put in, the people behind the scenes, and we're doing it for them.
An uneventful first 2 periods before the floodgates opened in the third. The teams trading 3 goals in a span of 1 minute and 22 seconds, capped off by a highlight reel goal from William Schneid.
Able to get that up ahead. Here's Schneid dragging into the middle. He scores!
With the Colts coach saying the effort was there, they just need a bounce.
I thought it was our best effort tonight. I liked all 60, 83 minutes, whatever it was, but I thought our guys did not let up. I thought we had very limited lulls, a very even game, so to speak. It's playoff hockey. It's double overtime. They get a really good bounce, and would have loved that bounce to go our way.
The Rangers pushing the Colts to the brink of elimination, the Colts knowing they have to win or their season is over.
This group's not going to give up. We got so much heart, so much care for one another. And yeah, we're gonna fight till the last games.
And if you're looking for tickets for Game 4, well, you're out of luck as the game is sold out. Now, the Barrie Colts are looking to be on the other side of history. The last time a team came back from a 3-1 deficit was the 2012-2013 London Knights against the Barrie Colts. The London Knights ultimately winning that series in 7 games. No OHL team has come back from a 3-0 deficit in the OHL final. Reporting live outside Sadlon Arena, I'm Luke Samard. Sarah, we'll send it back to you.
Luke, I think it's time we break some records. Thank you for that. Now, as Luke just mentioned, the tickets are sold out for tomorrow night, but here's how you can take in all of the action at Sadlon Arena. They will be broadcast on our brother station, TSN, and on Tuesday, tomorrow night, it'll be on TSN 4, starting at 7 p.m.
The road to the Memorial Cup is brought to you by the Boots and Hearts Barn Burner Charity Hockey Game.
It has now been more than 20 years since April Dobson was shot and killed in Barrie, and police are still searching for her killer. We've learned that they're now increasing the reward for information into her death. Dobson was 40 at the time, sitting on a porch outside a friend's house on Browning Trail when she was shot in the head. That was back on October 14th of 2005. Barrie police say their search for a suspect remains active and believe someone has information that could help them solve this case. Today, police announced the increase in reward from $50,000 to $100,000 for information leading to an arrest and conviction. Investigators say even the smallest piece of information could make a real difference in that case. A 22-year-old Barrie man accused in a jewelry store smash and grab at a mall in Oshawa had a bail hearing. As CTV's Mike Arcelides reports, this comes 6 weeks after shoppers helped police wrestle the suspects to the ground.
Colton Peters McComb is now out on bail after spending 39 days behind bars. The 22-year-old from Barrie was released from jail to a loved one who pledged $7,000 to secure his bail under strict house arrest conditions. Peters McComb is accused of robbing a jewelry store inside the Oshawa Centre Mall in late March, along with 4 others. Peters McComb was one of 2 men from Barrie. Durham Regional Police said were taken into custody on the afternoon of March 29th when shoppers took them to the ground following a smash and grab that involved bear spray being used at Bellagio Jewelers. In several videos, the would-be thieves are seen being subdued by a handful of men, including one with a chokehold. Police charge Peters McComb with robbery, possession of a prohibited weapon, wearing a disguise with intent, possession of property obtained by crime over $5,000, conspiracy to commit an indictable offense, and 4 counts of possession of drugs. The other Barrie man arrested is 40-year-old Ryan McPhail. He remains behind bars. McPhail faces many of the same charges. Police said he was already banned from having weapons on him. He is already up for assault and uttering threat charges in Barrie. 3 of their co-accused 19, 17, and 15-year-olds from Mississauga and Brampton were arrested outside the mall with help from the K-9 unit. 19-year-old alleged getaway driver Romario Angelo Abraham is an aspiring actor, now charged with 4 counts of robbery, possession of stolen property, and mischief, according to Halton Police, who announced 8 arrests connected to what investigators described as an organized group of suspects targeting about a dozen businesses across the GTA. Police also revealed Abraham was charged in the Michael Hill jewelry store robbery in Barrie 2 weeks prior to the Oshawa smash and grab, along with 21-year-old Krishan Scott of Mississauga, who faces 9 robbery counts and breaching a release order. Barrie Police had appealed for the public's help, tracking down those responsible for that March 17th Georgian Mall robbery. Following his release from custody, Peters McComb is scheduled to make his next appearance in a virtual Oshawa courtroom in 2 weeks' time. The allegations against the accused have not been tested in court. Mike Arsledy, CTV News, Oshawa.
Provincial police are investigating after a suspicious house fire in Dufferin County over the weekend. Emergency crews were called to the fire on the 6th line in the township of Amaranth just before 5 a.m. on Saturday. Police say the home was vacant at the time and damage is estimated between $1.5 to $2 million. The cause of the fire is currently being investigated by the Dufferin OPP Major Crime Unit with help from the Office of the Fire Marshal. No charges have been laid at this time. The township of Lake of Bays has opted to temporarily shut down the community center. They say it's a cautionary step. In a release, the township says a ground issue was found while work was being done to the facility's heating and cooling systems. The public library, the community center arena, and the public water taps in the area are all temporarily closed. Lake of Bays says there's no set timeline on when it will reopen and does ask people to respect fencing and restricted areas as work continues. Now that the snow's cleared and plows are off the road, there's a familiar sight on our streets, speed bumps popping up all across the city. CTV's Jack Morris has been looking into where and why and joins us live now. Jack.
Well, Sarah, it's a surer sign of spring than the weather, that's for sure. Speed bumps, traffic calming measures popping up in neighborhoods from one side of the city right to the other.
This is the one you're probably most familiar with, speed pillows, temporary speed bumps put down in residential neighborhoods.
These are where people live, these are where there's parks and where there's schools. So the whole idea of the seasonal traffic calming is to slow vehicles down to make it more safe for the pedestrians, and many times it's children using our streets.
But they aren't the only thing. The bollards alongside narrow the street to make cars slow down further.
Sometimes you'll see speed radar boards across the city that will flash your speed where you're driving. Sometimes there are planters in the middle of the roadways, temporary islands. All of these things slow traffic down.
And that is key. The city collects data year-round on where in town people want to see traffic slowed down. Then in spring, puts them there.
That tends to be the time when you see more children out and about on their bicycles, soccer season and baseball starts up. So it's just really important because people really drive quite quickly in some of our communities.
They started going in last week and are expected to be in place within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Usually they're up until Thanksgiving.
Sometimes there are some locations that always have this seasonal traffic calming. Sometimes we have new areas just based again on the feedback that we get from our residents.
All of this intended to get drivers to slow down on our streets.
And Sarah, that's not the only thing. You'll see speed radars with signs alongside some streets, as well as barriers on the center line in some places. Now, all of that has the same purpose, and that's to slow drivers down. That work is ongoing now. You can expect it to wrap up by the end of the month. Sarah.
There will be 3 new parks to explore this summer, along with a couple revitalized playgrounds.
Today, we're talking about the kind of community we want families to call home. Across Barrie, residents want safe, welcoming public spaces where kids can play, neighbors can gather, and families can enjoy the outdoors together.
Construction in all 3 parks in Barrie, Phoenix Park, Nottingham, and Gateway Park were all completed in 2025, but this year marks their first full season. The East Bayfield Park playground improvements were finalized last summer, while the Eastview Community Park revitalization was just finished in the spring. Both projects were designed to create inviting, inclusive outdoor spaces.
Whether it's a new basketball court, a playground filled with young people, open green space for recreation, or shaded areas for families to connect, these parks are built for the people of Barrie. Phoenix Park, Nottingham Park, and Gateway Park represent more than new amenities. They represent our commitment to building new neighborhoods that are complete, where residents feel connected, active, and proud of where they live.
The City of Barrie offers more than 850 acres of park space. Well, from City of Barrie. What's up, Case?
Oh, we're having fun with grass out here, Sarah. Little blade of grass, lots of fun. I got the turkeys over here. They think I'm one of them.
You really did grow up in small-ish town, Ontario, didn't you?
Yeah, East End Beaches of Toronto, yes. Very small, very small. Lots of fun, I might add. Visited with Mother on the weekend, the old stomping grounds. I hope you got back to see Mom. Lots of fun. And weather-wise, wasn't bad on Mother's Day. Not bad today either. Let's continue on right now with a quick look at the forecast. Quick look at the first look at the forecast, I might add. Brought to you by the graveldrivewayguy.com. Your local gravel driveway expert. 10 degrees. Yeah, but it's that northwest wind, right? That's a cool wind. Sun's warm, but that northwest wind is cool. This is a look at the temperature outside your door. 7 degrees in Collingwood, 7 in Owen Sound, 8 in Parry Sound, 10 in Newmarket, 12 in Toronto. Looks like 12 in the Sunshine City of Aurelia and 9 degrees in Mount Forest, Ontario. This is radar satellite images, and yeah, okay, some cloud cover, some spotty showers. Well, according to this, on the other side of the lake, City of Kawartha Lakes, yes, we didn't really experience any of that today. At least I didn't see any in our region. However, there is in our region a frost advisory for the southern portion of our viewing area. That would be the York Region area. And coming up just a few minutes' time, we know it can get warmer, Sarah. Never mind the fun with grass. We'll let you know when things warm up, and we're possibly into the 20s, possibly. All that coming up a few minutes' time. Back inside.
You can find fun wherever you go, Case. Now, if Mother Nature does continue to cooperate, it won't be long until we see boats lining our lakes, and now the sport is even more accessible.
Yay!
The Carefree Boat Club of Lake Simcoe is officially open for business and has partnered with the Barrie Chamber of Commerce. It's a shared system where you sign up, get trained, book your boat, and off you go with far less expense than owning your own.
Basically, you make your reservation, you show up, you get your own dock hand, your boat's fueled, warmed, ready to go. You go out with a float plan, come back, and we help you tie your lines. You turn the key and walk away. Do it again the next day.
The Carefree Boat Club of Simcoe County launches from downtown Barrie, and there are a number of different types of watercraft to explore. Now, the cost of fuel, however, is impacting people that are trying to prepare for the boating season. The rising price has some rethinking if they want to take to the water, which could have a broader economic impact. CTV's Heather Wright explains.
Wet weather and high water have meant a slow start to the season at Kawartha Lakes Marina in Bobcaygeon, Ontario. Boats are being launched, but marina owner Chad Hinton says some clients are considering skipping this summer.
We have a few people that are on the fence about whether or not the boat may go in. Fuel prices and general cost of living.
Nationally, the average price of gas is hovering around $1.90 per litre, according to the CAA. 1 year ago, the national average was 131.8 cents a litre. The price of fuel at marinas is already higher than gas sold in town, and so what is an expensive hobby is becoming even costlier. Hinton says the price of gas won't stop many from getting out on the water, but it will force some to rethink their summer plans.
For the family of four that saves enough to go away for a week on vacation every year, if groceries have gone up and fuel has gone up, they definitely change what they're doing on vacation.
The cost of boating depends on a number of things: the size of the boat, tank size, speed, wind. And so while some are choosing to keep their boats in storage this summer, others say they will get out on the lake but make adjustments in other areas in order to save some money. Barclay Elliott's boat is his cottage, and while he has no plans to keep it tied up this season, he is mindful of the high cost of gas.
What it may do is, instead of 10 trips, I'll do 9.
According to Transport Canada, more than 12 million Canadian adults participate in recreational boating each year, an industry that contributes roughly $5.6 billion to Canada's GDP. But the high cost of living and soaring gas prices could further impact an industry already experiencing uncertainty. Murray Hadfield sells boats in the Kawartha area where clients have been forced to drastically reduce their prices.
They started advertising OBO, or best offer, and they still couldn't get action in the fall.
While gas prices might not soon return to where they were last summer, there is some hope that they will start to come down before this boating season is over. Heather Wright, CTV News, Bob Cajun, Ontario.
Pharmacists in the province will soon be able to administer more vaccines as well as treat more common ailments. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris has more on the expansion of the role.
It's a new peek into Ontario's hospitals, showing growing wait times and deepening deficits, or as the report's author describes it,
a system under immense strain.
The data compiled by the left-leaning Centre for Policy Alternatives finds in 2020-21, 90% of patients spent 29 hours in emergency departments waiting to be admitted. By 2024-25, that was up to 44 hours, a 52% increase.
The longer patients languish in the emergency department waiting to be admitted, the risks of deteriorating health status and poorer outcomes increase.
A spokesperson for the Minister of Health calls the report misguided, with Sylvia Jones touting spending increases on hospitals.
We all have a responsibility, hospital leadership and government, to make sure that that money is being spent appropriately.
No one is operating a more efficient system, but as the aging, growing population hits it, it just can't cope.
You hear that same pushback from opposition leaders.
Always. Broom closets. This is where patients are being treated.
60% of hospitals taking out a line of credit just to stay open.
Minister Jones insists government action has made a difference.
Whether it is scope of practice changes, whether it is primary care access, then individuals make decisions not to go to an emergency department because they have those other opportunities.
Everybody see me?
Earlier in the day, Jones expanded the list of ailments pharmacists can assess and treat.
Calluses and corns, dandruff, dry eye, head lice, jock itch, mild headache, nasal congestion, ringworm, and warts.
Starting in July, pharmacists will also be able to administer 6 more vaccines, including tetanus, pertussis, and RSV. There could be more responsibilities coming for other health professionals, like optometrists and dental hygienists.
What I think we saw today really is just tinkering around the edges. I have a difficult time imagining that it's going to make a significant difference.
The Ontario Nurses Association is launching a constitutional challenge of the law that prevents them from taking job action up to striking, something nurses in other provinces can do. The Minister of Health says she supports the work that nurses do, but she's going to let the legal process play out. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Ontario Health Minister Sylvia Jones, whom we just heard from, has now confirmed a third Ontario resident is in isolation because of the hantavirus.
The couple in Grey Bruce absolutely is still self-isolating. They continue to be asymptomatic, and obviously the local public health unit is monitoring closely. We do have a third individual in the Peel region who is also isolating and being monitored by the local public health unit.
It was on Friday that health officials confirmed 2 people from the same household were isolating in Grey Bruce. Jones adding that couple is still asymptomatic. No other details have been provided about the person that's isolating in Peel region. 2 reports out today are painting a more detailed picture on how travel has been affected as a result of Donald Trump's trade war. CTV's senior correspondent Mike Couture has the numbers for us.
Ottawa's Tulip Festival is a huge draw for tourists. These Montrealers used to take an annual trip to the New England coast, but since Canada-U.S. relations started to wilt, they're traveling domestically instead.
Stay in Canada and spend our money here, rather than encourage the American people who have this silly leader that they've got.
And it seems they're not alone. Researchers from the University of Toronto analyzed Canadian cell phone usage in the U.S. over a period of 2 years and found a median decline of 42%, more than the initial estimates of a 25% decrease. But that did include freight travel and Canadians who have to travel to the U.S. for work.
We think they're taking a lot more meetings at home in Canada on Zoom.
Researchers say it's even more apparent in some industries hit by the trade war.
You're seeing much less travel to places like Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's not a loss of tourist travel. That's a loss of trade-related travel related to the auto industry.
The new numbers from Statistics Canada show a slight uptick in cross-border traffic last month. In April, 1.8 million Canadians made return trips to the U.S. That's up 1.4% compared to the same month in 2025. It's the first time there's been an overall increase since December of 2024.
There will be those that will not travel to the U.S. no matter what, but I'm seeing many that had that attitude at the beginning are now softening and actually traveling now and going there also.
Despite that bump, Stats Canada numbers show when you compare April of this year to April of 2024, before cross-border tensions reignited, travel is down by 30%. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
ATV riders in Georgian Bay were eager and ready to open the trails this weekend. The Baxter ATV Trail Riders Club hosted an awareness ride over the weekend. There were several local dealers on the trails to help talk about some of the safety programs.
Great for me as Mayor of Tate Township to participate in today's ride. The cooperation between the Tay and Baxter ATV clubs, and I just want to thank everyone who participated.
In fact, over 400 riders participated in that event. Still to come on this Monday, the future home of the Sea Cadets becoming a reality. We'll share the steps made forward to bring the vision to fruition. Plus, marking a 110th anniversary in downtown Barrie, how CFB Borden honored the milestone. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Barrie. Presented by Paul Sadlin Motors.
Music, it's a small community, so when something's really good, we all want to be part of it.
We have an amazing music scene here. Having people come together in community, listen to some amazing local artists, brings the downtown alive. It brings our city alive.
Troubadour Festival 2026 is going to be off the hook. Road Hammers, got the Watchmen, Bahamas, going to be great.
We begin in downtown Barrie, where CFB Borden was granted freedom of the city on Saturday. The historic tradition invites the military to march the city with drums, beating, and colors flying as a symbol of the community's trust, respect, and appreciation. It's been 10 years since the last freedom of the city took place in Barrie.
150 soldiers walking on the streets of Barrie who were able to say thank you to and to recognize for all that they sacrificed, their families sacrificed to keep the people of Barrie safe and secure and to keep our freedoms and our hopes alive.
CFB Borden was founded in 1916 and is recognized as the birthplace of the Royal Canadian Air Force. The Sea Cadets have officially broke ground on a new home here in Barrie.
We've been in the master waterfront plan for I don't know how long. So to have this actually happen, to actually move the earth, to actually do it, and it's just, I can't even tell you how excited we are.
2, 3. We're just incredibly proud of each of these young people. That's why they were the ones today that were doing the groundbreaking, and it wasn't the dignitaries. It was a focus on our young people and on their opportunity to learn and to grow together.
It's not about me, it's about teamwork. And my team has been behind me from the get-go, and they're the reason I'm so stubborn and got this done.
The grounds will also be barrier-free and connected right to the water with a float dock. Greenhaven Shelter for Women held its inaugural Mother's Day March in Aurelia to honor the grandmothers, mothers, caregivers, and women in our lives.
An opportunity for the community to come together and walk with purpose. We wanted to have a community event that included our allies, the men, included our other community members, and also the children.
First off, for honoring the many women who have not had the chance to speak up about their own experiences that could not be here today. The many women who are here today that have experienced violence at some point in their life that, are part of this community.
It was so beautiful to see everybody coming together and such a beautiful day, especially on Mother's Day, and having everybody honor such something so hard to deal with, but do it in such a positive way of just coming together.
More than 70 people registered for the walk with plans to make the march an annual tradition. The King's Wharf Theatre in Penetanguishene came to life on Saturday night with the smooth sounds of Juno Award-winning artist William Prince.
Be your key to freedom and bind you to the path that holds.
And it wasn't just about the music. The Red Carpet Concert is the CLH Foundation's key fundraiser, which helps people living with developmental issues. And what a success, raising $135,000 through sponsors, donors, and auction bids to help fund those support services that are offered right across our region. It was a busy morning. In fact, there is additional coverage offered on our website. There it is, ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or use your cell phone to scan that little QR code on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Still to come, it's becoming something to look forward to at the Barrie Public Library for the past 10 years. The return of a mummy and her ducklings, seemingly celebrating Mother's Day with the rest of us. That's in just a few moments, but first, let's head outside. Cases in Bob's Garden.
Hot spot in Canada today, Estevan, Saskatchewan, 27.2 degrees when we warm up. Yeah, just ahead in our Weather Watcher Artiste. Have a look. Dominic says, I'm looking forward to warmer temperatures, and I promise to keep my dog Piglet out of Mum's garden. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph
from Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, we're giving away $50 gas cards from Ride for Dad.
And don't forget about Bounce Boarding Call, your chance to win a $4,000 travel voucher and $100 in spending money.
So tune in Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 10 for your chance to win.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
I have a feeling this week's theme is going to put a lot of smiles on people's faces. We are celebrating all of the mummies, the mother figures. Capture those special moments and continue to share them with us. Picture this at ctv.ca. Let's head outside. Case, I know you spent the special day with your special mom. How is she? How did it all go?
She's great. We walked around the old neighborhood. We had a lovely dinner with my sister and the rest of the family. Well, some of the family, not all the family. Everybody's really busy. It was fantastic, and the weather was great. It's just the northwest wind, though. The northwest wind, it's keeping things a little too cool for just about everybody. Sunshine's lovely, But the northwest wind, okay, we've had enough. It was a long winter, right? Northwest wind dominated over the winter. Let's take a look at the forecast. And an end to the northwest wind? Well, I wouldn't call it an end, but maybe a little reprieve might be nice. Southerly flow would be enjoyable. 8 degrees in Owen Sound, 8 in Parry Sound, 8 in Gravenhurst, 13 in the Sunshine City of Orillia, 10 in Newmarket, call it 12 in Toronto, and 9 in Alliston. Yeah, this is the almanac. 10 and 3. That's the high, that's the low. Long way from normal. 18, a record 28.5 degrees in 1979. Oh, I remember that year. What a great year that was. And -5 is record low in 2020. Don't really remember that. That's odd. Sunrise, sunset, 5:54 it's up, 8:36 it's down, 14 hours and 41 minutes of daylight. Roll that for me, would you, Sully? This is the forecast radar. And ladies and gentlemen, are we doing okay? Is there any shower activity? Yes, there is. As you could just see by that green monster that came in from the left. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe. Overnight temperatures, -1. Slight chance of some spotty showers, according to Environment Canada. And then things start to clear. I'm looking around now. Couple of clouds, nice. Tomorrow, 13 degrees, still that northwest wind. Sun cloud, 40% chance of an afternoon shower. And, well, you saw what comes tomorrow night, right? It looks like substantial shower activity, but well, more on that in a little while. Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill. Frost advisory, again, frost advisory for York Region. Clearing skies this evening, 13 tomorrow. Sun and cloud and a 40% chance of some showers. First thing in the morning, and then in the evening, well, we see what's on the way. Parrystown, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, -1, -3, partly cloudy, slight chance of a couple of showers this evening, and then clearing skies. Looks like a lovely start to the day tomorrow. 13 degrees, mainly sunny for the better part of the day, and then a 40% chance becomes a very, very good chance to shower, and, well, I'll let you know more coming up. That's tonight and tomorrow. I'll let you know more about the 5-day extended forecast coming up and the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers. Lawyers, they say it correct. Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast. There we go, northwest wind. I'm blaming everything on the northwest wind. Wednesday, ooh, yeah, showers, no surprise there. 11 degrees, cloudy skies. Thursday, it just looks like cloud cover. Is 5-day extended forecast, Simcoe County, of course. 14, 19 Friday. Everyone's ears perking up, sun and cloud. And 19 again on Saturday into the weekend. Slight chance of passing shower. York Region 5-day extended forecast. Yeah, it looks like rain on Wednesday, 13, 14 on Thursday, cloudy skies, 19 on Friday, and it looks like 20 degrees, I say, on Saturday, slight chance of showers, fair skies, okay. Muskoka, Parry Sound, Halliburton, have a look. Wednesday, cloudy, 60% chance of showers. Yeah, we're going to get some rain, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday looks like cloudy and 15, 21 degrees on Friday. Sun and cloud, nice. And then Saturday, 18, fair skies, and a slight chance of a passing shower. So we're due, Sarah. We're due. The shifting of the winds, the shifting of the... Get the cloud cover out of here, and let's start warming up the temperatures and make everybody happy.
This will certainly make you happy. It was a very special Mother's Day for the Barrie Public Library as a familiar face returned. Daisy Duck is back at the rooftop garden of the downtown branch. For more than a decade, Daisy has returned every spring to hatch her ducklings. Staff offer fresh water and they rope off the area where she nests, and then once the ducklings are ready to move on, staff will help move them to Heritage Park. Isn't that fascinating that she knows where to return every year? Sunday marked a Mother's Day tea with a purpose. The proceeds support a local animal shelter, and I had the pleasure of emceeing. That's Linda Smith from Alliston entertaining the crowd with The Cat Came Back the very next day. This is the first time the Furry Friends Shelter held the luncheon. It was a sold-out success, raising $5,000. A special thank you to the Ladies Auxiliary from Barrie Legion Branch 147 for donating those delicious little church sandwiches. You know the ones, the little triangles. Oh, so good. Well, it is said that many hands make for light work, and that saying is being brought to life at a local hall, and with every stitched poppy, an important story.
I really want to keep the celebration of Remembrance Day in the forefront for our younger generations.
The Cascading Poppy Project, an ambitious one, but it is beginning to take shape in Coldwater. The public helped hand-made those poppies, and now the group hopes to create 6 bird net blankets affixed with the crocheted and knit poppies. These will hang from rooftops, bridges, and landmarks ahead of the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Legion, but the group is looking for some help.
We will take as many volunteers as we possibly can. We could use more crocheters, more knitters, or if people would like to donate cans of Scotchgard.
That Scotchgard will help keep those poppies safe. Any volunteer that can help. You are asked to bring your lunch, a pair of scissors, and a crochet hook. The group will meet Mondays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Matchadash Hall. Still to come, changes are coming to Pearson International Airport. A look at the start of the new infrastructure project, one of the largest in Canadian history. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Stay with us. Time now to recap our top stories. The Barrie Colts are now facing elimination after dropping the first 3 games of the OHL final. If you're looking for tickets for tomorrow night's game, you are out of luck. It is sold out. And unfortunately, no team has ever come back from being down 3 games in the OHL final. Like I said, let's break some records. Colton Peters-McComb is now out on bail after spending 39 days behind bars, accused of robbing a jewelry store in late March. The 22-year-old from Barrie was released from jail to a loved one who pledged $7,000 to secure his bail under strict house arrest conditions. And the city of Barrie is installing speed pillows and temporary speed bumps. They'll be put down in residential neighborhoods. The bollards found alongside narrow the street as well to make cars slow down. The city collects data year-round on where in town people would like to see traffic slow down, and then in the spring they put them in place. A groundbreaking ceremony was held at Pearson Airport this morning. It marks the beginning of one of the largest airport infrastructure programs in Canadian history. CTV's Rahim Ladani has the details.
What is the #1 thing you would change at Toronto Pearson International Airport?
Luggage arrival.
Additional escalators, more elevators.
There's often many lines are just closed.
Inside Terminal 1, not everyone feels Canada's busiest airport stacks up to others.
It's always a joy when you come back after a long flight, have to wait for almost 3/4 an hour for your bag.
Recently, I've been to the Newark airport, which was renovated, and they have a very streamlined system.
1, 2, 3, go!
Hoping to improve the travel experience, officials are breaking ground on a 10-year modernization project. Phase 1 will cost $3 billion, and Pearson's CEO says passengers will feel the difference through fewer delays and smoother travel.
You'll often find the pilot saying, okay, we're sitting here waiting for a gate. So we're going to have expanded airfield parking aprons and aircraft positions and a high-speed taxiway that moves airplanes faster onto and off the runway.
Other promises include less baggage disruptions, while runway and airfield upgrades could help move up to 28,000 more passengers a day. Government officials also say the project will create tens of thousands of new jobs.
This means more pathways into the workforce, more opportunities for our businesses, and more economic momentum for the entire region.
While some travelers feel Pearson Airport is on the right flight path.
Personally, I don't think we've had a horror story with Pearson. Right? But again, we live in Grimsby, not Toronto, right? So, but when we come, everything runs smoothly.
Others aren't convinced about the decade-long vision.
I believe it when I see it type of thing. Usually when somebody says 10 years, it usually means 15.
During construction, airport officials say travelers will not experience any extra delays, and more expansion plans will be announced in the near future. Rahim Ladani, CTV News.
Turning to business news, Cineplex saw weaker than expected first quarter results as softer advertising demand weighed on performance. Revenue rose 16%, but missed analyst estimates. The company pointed to a slowdown in the theater advertising, partly due to spending shifting toward the Winter Olympics and tougher comparisons with a year ago. Moving into our markets on this Monday, the TSX was up 61 points, the Dow was up 95, and the Nasdaq was up 27, and commodities oil was up, closing at 98.07 a barrel. Gold was down, finishing at $4,728 an ounce, and our dollar was up, ending the day at 73.17 cents U.S. Still to come here on CTV, calling for change. A coach on the East Coast wants girls' hockey games to be the same length as boys. Details on the other side of the break. Here's a look at your Monday night primetime lineup. The NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference semifinals. Detroit versus Cleveland starts at 8, followed by CTV News Barrie at 11 p.m. Thanks for staying with us. The Ottawa Charge are heading back to the Walter Cup final for a second straight season. They took out the Boston Fleet last night in front of another sold-out crowd in the nation's capital.
On net, another stop by Franco. Rounds up on front, they score! Michaela Cava, the overtime winner!
You heard it there. The winner was scored in double overtime. In fact, they took the series in 4 games. Meantime, tonight's winner-take-all Game 5 between the Montreal Victoire and Minnesota Frost is being postponed. The league says it's due to player safety concerns related to illness. There's no confirmation of when the game will now take place, but the league says an update will be made in the next day. And as girls hockey continues to gain popularity right across the country, one coach in New Brunswick is calling for change. At issue, why the girls' games aren't as long as the boys. CTV's Laura Brown explains.
A little fanfare, a short warm-up, and these players are off. This is a spring female hockey program, but many of these players spend September to March playing for their high school, where periods are shorter than their male peers.
It doesn't seem like much, but it adds up to 4.4 games throughout the whole year.
Shorter periods made sense when participation was low, but today's growing girls game is now calling for more ice time.
You see many girls teams now at the younger ages, and they're coming with further and bigger expectations because they want to go and develop their craft as much as they can.
And those shorter periods can halt that development, he says. According to the school sport handbook, boys' games are 3 20-minute periods. Girls are 3 15-minute periods. It does say where possible, girls may play up to 18 minutes, but the rule book currently doesn't allow for 20-minute periods.
They want to go to the PWHL or they want to play, university or whatever the high hopes are. And if we take that away from them, even if they can get there or not, we don't want to crush their dreams by saying, you're not good enough to have these minutes or these times.
Doug Grandy, who co-founded a girls-only hockey program, doesn't call it gender inequality, just an outdated rule. Player Ava Burns says simply it's time for the change.
At the beginning, girls hockey, it wasn't as big as it is now, and the game has evolved so much for us girls that I think it's our time for this.
School Sport New Brunswick's president isn't opposed to longer periods, but suspects some schools are hesitant because of the cost of ice time, and majority of schools have to agree. Doug Marion says his players have been loud and clear they're willing to pay more to play more, and he also thinks the change would mean a lot to them.
It gives the girls that are playing the ability to continue to grow to whatever they want to take their game to be.
Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
All right, Casey Colby, before we can sign off on this Monday night, we need to look towards Tuesday morning.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Get Up and Go forecast first thing tomorrow morning. Is it a chilly one? Yes, it is. It is a chilly one. 7 o'clock in the morning. Looks like 2 degrees in Barrie, 2 degrees in Newmarket, and holding right at the freezing mark. But the good news is, of course, that in Gravenhurst, everybody gets sunshine. So that's a great way to start the day. Have yourself a fantastic evening. Sarah.
Thanks very much, Case, and same to everyone at home. Thank you for starting your work week with us. I'm Sarah Freemark. Always appreciate your time. Have a fantastic night.